Hey everybody, welcome back to Safari Mack with Uncovering the Sloth. If we're ready, let's continue with part 2. Where I last left off, I had explained to all of you how how Sid originally from Ice Age pointed out that you never originally see sloths like him in cave drawings, and I thought that myself. And then I originally found an article that discussed about some early cave drawings of what appears to be a ground sloth and a baby interacting with the human world. So what story does it have to tell? Who knows? If you want to learn more about this yourself, be sure to check the link that I will leave down in the comments section below. I hope that maybe you yourself will find it very interesting. And of course, I also mentioned Disney's lovable sloth, Flash from Zootopia. But now let's talk about both nature wild things as well as wild things in human culture. So, believe it or not, the sloth has actually kind of made a pretty impressive name for itself. It somehow unofficially became the representative or a symbol of Costa Rica, especially in tourism. It's even representing its people. Now, I'm not talking about people being slow or lazy, but instead the people of Costa Rica actually see these animals as a kind of symbol of having a serene attitude and a stress-free life, actually. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit about how they impact different wildlife. Now, of course, in addition to being part of the food chain for other predators, I'm talking more specifically about the blue-green algae that is on that can grow on their bodies. As I mentioned in part 1, this can often when the rains do come, and because they move at a slow pace, this algae grows on their fur and can act as a perfect camouflage against predators. But now there's another big purpose to this. Some insects and other tiny forms of life actually depend on this kind of algae from the sloth. In fact, one kind of insect, I won't go into too much detail about it, but one insect, it's believed now that it has evolved to fully depend on this algae. So without this bug could not exist. This is just a wild and amazing representation of evolution in a way at its finest. And now there's a little lesser known thing in which they can use to escape from predators. If they're near bodies of water, surprisingly, they're really good swimmers. Now, they're not swimming like that. No. It's a little bit more like this. So if they're near water, and let's just say there's a harpy eagle or a cat climbing a tree, they can drop out of the tree and then swim all the way back to shore and then find the next tree that they'll climb into to escape. Unfortunately, their main predators aren't really the biggest problem. Unfortunately, these guys want to have the slow life, but now they're actually having to run a race just to keep themselves safe from extinction. I'm talking once more about their threats and problems. Unfortunately, human development and encroachment is one of the biggest dangers for sloths. As they lose their forests and their habitats, they're having to constantly figure out how to live in the human suburban or in just other parts of the human world. And this can come at some really dangerous costs. And here's what I mean. For them, their only way, because these creatures live in an arboreal lifestyle, once again, that's just a fancy word for saying that they live up in the treetops. These guys looked for any form of transportation, and in this case, it's electrical wires. And unfortunately, a good number of them can end up with really, really, really bad scars and burns that some are almost untreatable. In addition to that, these guys also face threats from poachers. They're not killing these creatures for their hides or for any of their body parts, though, as always, different animal parts can fetch really high price on the underground market. They're more likely to try to sell these creatures as pets. And now, here on Safari Mac, I really want to remind everybody and I hope that you'll spread the word with this, wild animals may be cute, but they are just that. They are wild animals. These are not pets. They are not meant to be pets. And unfortunately, those that do end up being sold as someone's pet often die more sooner because these creatures have such a complex, system. They have so many different kinds of special needs that people are just not able to provide. Only zoos or other institutes or conservation groups that can help them know what they're doing. And so it's thanks to these conservation groups and organizations that's helping sloths now. One of these is the world famous Sloth Institute, where, here I'll explain, it's a non-profit organization based in Manuel Antonio, close to the Manuel Antonio National Park in Costa Rica, where they are dedicated to both the rescue and the rehabilitation of sloths. And I'm telling you right now, folks, this group is involved in many, and I do mean many, different projects. Not just from the rescue and rehabilitation of them, but this symbol is from one called Sloths Speedways, where their goal is to prevent dangerous travel for these animals that have to cross the road. So instead of having to use the telephone wires or electric lines, they're using ropes or even rope bridge, even kind of rope ladder bridge to help them get across safely without having to go to the ground and risk being run over. So this project stems from the deforestation and building on previous forest space where it can reduce their deaths from where they're trying to find food and water. And it's only helped thanks to other organizations. They actually are partnership. They have a partnership with the Cincinnati Zoo. That it's only thanks to that and working with local communities that these creatures that we humans and the natural world can continue to coexist as best we can. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this episode, I will admit we are now officially done with South America for now. So with this, I really would like to say adios to South America. We will come back again some point, but now we are going to begin our journey to North America by taking a little shortcut through the Caribbean Sea, and along the way, we'll meet some interesting sea creatures. So from Safari Mack and my buddy here, Flash, we say adios to South America, and we'll be back again soon. But until next week, as always, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay tuned for more features as well as updates on different conservation projects all over the world, whether it's from my YouTube channel or Facebook page. And if you have questions about me or about animals or maybe something I didn't cover, please send me an email, which you'll always find the link to in the description below. And as always, if you want to check out if you want to learn a little bit more about the Sloth Institute, you can also check the link that I will also leave down in the comment section, along with the archaeological find of the ground sloth cave paintings. But until next week, this is Safari Mack, and I'll see you all out there.